Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of Stand Your Ground Saturday here on the Hot Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, Taylor the Hot Patriot, and for tonight's Stand Your Ground Saturday, we're going to talk about a bunch of different topics at hand. Uh, Obviously, this was initially labeled as Save the House, and now it's Save the House, make the Neocons drop out. Basically, there is a bunch of pieces of shit, obviously, still in the race for presidential nominee currently. That moron Nikki Haley is in there still, and she's such a fucking asshole. Oh man, I hate that woman so goddamn much. She is like literally Hillary Clinton. If Hillary Clinton was a rhino sack of shit, basically. Uh, so I was watching this video a little bit ago about her, and we're probably gonna talk about her in a little bit, actually. Not sure if I can actually play it or not, but we'll go over the gist of it, is what it is there, and then talk about some other stuff too. Obviously, I'm looking into starting to GoFundMe very soon because I'm gonna try and save the house I'm currently living in as well on that one. Yeah, not sure what's gonna happen here. We have to sell to somebody. We have to move to someplace else. I don't know right now, but again, it'll probably be a couple months off anyway. But problem is right now is there is so much stuff in this house right now that's not going to be, able to be moved. That it will probably have to be sold with the property if property gets sold here, obviously. And then there's other stuff that obviously I would like to keep in the family, at least on my side of it anyway. Just because, and then, various things here and there as it will be. Yeah, just sucks, man. Sucks to know that mom's gone. Sucks to know that we're going to be, having her calling hours and funeral next week. Still trying to figure out what I want to write for that whole thing because I still ain't got Article 1 written yet. But I do have some time. I'll probably do. I downloaded a speech-to-text thing today because the way my hands are anymore with the arthritis and everything else like that, it's like I'd almost rather just like write the stuff down, like just speak in the phone or whatever the case be, and have it like written down on like a little notepad thing or whatever, and then just go back to the notepad during that calling hours or something like that this coming week, and do it that way and stuff. I also need to go find some lotion pretty soon here. Specifically, there were new stuff that we used to get because my hand, you can tell it right there, it's really starting to crack real bad right in my hand wrist area. It's just really, really sore in general. And yeah, it just fucking sucks, dude, because I've been having those issues for a while now with that kind of shit. It's been actually decades now because have what was I gonna say? Since I had the body peeling like 20-ish years ago, give or take, going on 21 now is what it'll be. So, and there's some other things I would do and talk about here as well with why there should be legislation nationwide to stop China, Russia, etc. from buying our damn farmland in this country. Because that apparently is becoming a huge thing right now. And I've said that for years now, honestly. Like, what the fuck, people? Like, you are in power for a reason. Like, do your fucking jobs and stop these cocksuckers from buying our damn land. It's not that hard to figure out, man. Like, seriously. Like, you could easily do some stuff like that where you'd be like, the No Foreign Countries Act or something like that. And it would be no person that has any ties to a foreign country can ever purchase land in the United States of America, period. And the real issue comes back down to being, I've said this before many times on this and other channels that I have on this site, which is when you go back to fucking Bush 2's administration, what did you have back then? You had birth tourism like fucking crazy in this nation. And of course, what the fuck did the Chinese do then? They used that fucking bullshit to then push their garbage forward so that they could then turn around and fuck us all, man. And that's, again, another reason why the 14th Amendment itself needs to be rewritten in this country and needs to be retroactive after it gets rewritten is what it is then. Where, again, no foreign nationals can ever have any kind of say in this country. They are not considered U.S. citizens anymore, etc., dude. if your parent or parents were foreign nationals and you happen to be born on our country's soil, go fuck yourself. You're a foreign national just like their asses at that point. And that way you could retroactively say, no, all this birth tourism shit from the early 2000s, etc., and late 90s, all that stuff like that is what it is. Nah, fuck all those people, dude. Seriously. You're done here. Go fuck yourself. Get the fuck out. All the damn DACA assholes, get the fuck out. Across the board is what it is, man. Seriously. So, I'm also going to talk about some guns here today, too, for that matter, because I guess there's some cool guns coming out. This year's SHOT Show that have been already dropped here. So, I also do want to talk about this as well. We got, there was something that somebody posted to our server Discord for the Walking Dead Survivors game that I play, which apparently, I guess, one of the guys that was in this past season against us was actually doing a stream like a month ago over the passages that we were having to go over in this game. And it was basically all of my people up here trying to keep this they're trying to keep this passage from this dude and his people is what it was. And I think we ended up doing that actually, so it's pretty good. Obviously the people on the top there, like Michelle, Tango Star, etc., are all the people from, you know, my coalition is what it is there. And yeah, they were just keeping the passage gone and good to go is what it was. And it's kind of funny too, because like there's only a handful of the people up there that were actually pay to wins. And yet, meanwhile, from my understanding, like this Pivo, Fear, etc., like almost everybody in those clans is some kind of pay to win, or at least, you know, something or other, whether it be spending a little bit of money, whether it be spending a ton of money, you know, doesn't really matter. You know, they're like a lot of them are mini whales and nothing else. And it's just funny to me to see like that dude basically going out there and being like, oh, hey, look, we lost this thing, or whatever the case being. It's like this war versus these dudes. And it's like, yeah, that was me and my guys is what it was, dude. Now, granted, I wasn't involved in it because, you know, for me to get involved, it would mean, you know, losing a fuck ton of troops and stuff at that point versus, you know, all these 120s versus each other. Then they're going to lose nothing, or they're going to lose like very minimal stuff and they can actually afford to bring it back. That's what it is there. But yeah, unfortunately, for people like me, it's, you know, damn near impossible to do that kind of stuff. And I think it's going to get even worse, honestly, coming the new season here in the next couple of days, because it starts, I want to say it's just over 24 hours from now. It's like 28, 29 hours, something like that from now. And we'll have, obviously, a maintenance update, and then it'll be, the content will drop, which I'm not sure if we're going to have a Rise of Tensions event there or not, or if it's just going to be straight to Season 8 kind of thing or whatever there. So it might be both, actually, for that matter. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And, you know, like I said before, it's a whole thing. And I find it very interesting, too, for the matter of how you can get some things going on here is what it is. One thing I thought was interesting, too, is I guess there is a gun out on the market that's coming out. I don't know if that's partially out on the market already or not. Because from my understanding on this one, this is from 2019 here is what it says for this. And it was the Vantage Arms 612 shotgun. And then I guess what they're doing now in like current year for upcoming SHOT Show is what it is they're doing like another version of it or something where it can be like stuck underneath an AR and essentially be like a revolver shotgun kind of deal there. And I'm just like thinking to myself, I'm like, is this not an AOW then? Or like some kind of like NFA weapon? Like that just seems weird. And like the way people are talking about it, they're not talking about it if it's NFA or not for that matter. So it's like, that's weird, man. But yeah, that was interesting though. But yeah, as people were showing the thing for this one, you had, obviously it was a bullpup design here for this, which is, you know, you got the little revolver cylinder thing in the back there, and then this is actually even weirder, honestly, from this design here, because if you notice here, so you have the revolver cylinder in the back there, that's the actual like shotgun thing or whatever, but then you also have like what looks like a pistol mag in the pistol grip. So it's like, does this actually shoot like 2 different calibers kind of thing? And if so, that'd be pretty badass actually. Where it's like you got one up here, which is shotgun or whatever, and then you'd have like a possible like second barrel down here for like the pistol or whatever. And this is actually something similar to what I talked about myself with my original design for. Well, actually, it was not my original design, but it was one of my designs for when I was doing like a double AR is what it was there. And this is some years ago. I was talking to people about this, which my design, it would be where the rail is on the top of this. You'd actually have, and the way we would do it actually is we'd use, because they're no longer patented, it would be the PS90 mags. So it'd be like essentially a 5.7 mag, but then we'd actually like redo it to other calibers and stuff too. So it'd be like a bunch of handgun calibers, like 9mm, 40, 45, 44 Magnum, 38 Special, 357, et cetera there. And then you'd have that one on the top, obviously, that would like pop in like a PS90 mag, and there'd be like a barrel on the top there, and then there'd be a second barrel on the bottom that would just be like your standard AR-15s would be then. That could be chambered in various things from 5.56 to 308 to really any rifle calibers would be there. So, and then of course we'd have like variations potentially if we actually were to make this a real gun and stuff, where you could just have like a single chambering for both barrels and stuff. So it'd be like if you wanted to, like a straight 22 on both the barrels and stuff, you could have that, and you'd have like a 22 version and stuff. So pretty cool and interesting. Hello, Corey.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Just talking about guns. Talking about this 612 that I guess was released some years ago, and now it's going to get like an upgrade or something in this coming SHOT Show. I think that's what it is, where it's like an under thing for your attachments for ARs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like it would be an SPR at that point or something. AOW or something like that.
Probably.
Or there, and then
that looks very futuristic.
Yeah, and then there's other ones here because they're actually showing it as the AR attachment here. If I can find the article real quick. Yeah, it's like this right here, where it can like be like redesigned and like attached to the bottom of the gun. Then you just have like a second trigger. There is what it is. Which again, I think this would have to be NFA at some point then,
right?
Because I don't think that's legal without like a tax stamp.
Oh, it's probably not.
Yeah,
that's probably for the hours that should not be.
And then you have this cool ass looking one that's like a double handle on it, is what it is. And then there's like the breakdown of it and stuff.
Like a 40 mic, like a 40 millimeter.
No, it's actually it's a revolver cylinder that shoots shotgun shells, and I think it's either 12 or 20 gauge. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And like I said, it has the ability to go attachment like that is what it is there, and then yeah, you're just like shooting an extra 6-8 rounds, whatever it is in there. So, but
that's cool.
Yeah, I saw that on the video that God, Family, and Guns dropped here a little bit ago. So,
is there anything actually like noteworthy that's been leaked yet that's coming out at SHOT Show? That's just...
not really. It's just a lot of other stuff. So
basically the same shit, just looking a little different.
Yeah,
a little different.
Or it's even stuff that's already dropped and basically just gonna be like add-ons and stuff like that or whatever there. So
nothing really spectacularly new.
No, nothing really spectacular. Although we did have one piece of interesting news today from New York City, which is good old Patriot Fed boys are back again. The retards that call themselves Patriot Front were spotted in New York City doing a weird little march down, I don't know what even street it was there, and then went back to vehicles that had completely blank license plates on them there. So, yeah, pretty fucking fishy, man. Pretty fucking fishy.
Yeah.
And as Wall Street Silver said, so the fact that legacy media shows zero curiosity about unmasking the Patriot Front guys tells us 100% these are federal agents or paid stooges of one of the agencies. Media has been instructed by the FBI to just report a Patriot Front exists, white supremacy, call them white supremacy group, and then where's that? Yeah, and don't dig any deeper than that. So, yep, pretty much. And then you had this one with fucking piece of shit neocon Nikki Haley at a Chick-fil-A. I forget which state this was in, New Hampshire maybe, where you had the guy in the green hat here confront her ass and was asking her direct questions about wasting upwards of $100 million in Iowa on ad buys to legacy media that's just lied to us for years now. And the money could be going to veterans is what he was saying there. And then her piece of shit ass had the audacity to be like, well, my husband's a combat vet and he's fine with it. And it's like, shut the fuck up, cunt. And actually answer the damn direct question and stop trying to distract away for some bullshit.
Yeah.
And act like you give a fuck about veterans of this country when you don't. So, yeah, I'll tell you what, dude. Like, oh my God. She is like the epitome of why we need unmatched qualifications in this country right now. Just toss her fucking ass out of the race entirely and be done with it.
Oh, I've been saying that for shit for years.
But yeah, she's just such a piece of fucking garbage, honestly. So
I agree.
Yeah, I'm just annoyed as fuck right now. No, Jesus Christ. Well, going to from one retard to another retard in power right now. We got the first Gen Z dipshit himself, aka Maxwell Frost, a little fucker who shouldn't even be in office at all for that matter, because he should have been disqualified on the spot based on the fact that he was running on an anti-gun platform and anti-life platform, etc. there. Wants to remove the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, this guy can go fuck himself, for real.
What's the reason behind it?
He was going on a whole tirade here about, oh, the Statue of Liberty says, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, all that bullshit. I'm going to point something out on that one, by the way, that a lot of people don't know. It was not until JFK's administration back in the 1960s that fucking stupid-ass phrase was even put on the Statue of Liberty. When it was given to us by the French back in the 1910s or whatever the hell it was, that phrase was never on it to begin with. It was just an empty fucking book, basically, that was put there. And it wasn't until, like, 50-something years later, or so, 30, 40-something years, whatever it was there, that you actually had that put on there, because it was the powers that shouldn't be, obviously, that went to Kennedy and were like, dude, we got to have like some kind of thing. And that's exactly where the whole melting pot theory came into for this country as well, where they're like, oh yeah, we're a melting pot, except nobody seems to want to fucking melt anymore. And they just want to come into our country and break our rules illegally and literally fucking foreign invade while waving the flags of the nations they're leaving and just want to fucking hand out from this country. That's not embracing, that's not assimilating, that's not doing anything, dude. That's you fucking invading a goddamn nation.
Yep.
So don't you fucking tell me, Maxwell Frost, you little fucking douchebag piece of shit, Parkland asshole, anti-gun fuckstick, that I should be sitting here having a debate on if the Statue of Liberty should exist or not, you fucking douchebag. No, it should 100% exist on our soil. You and people like you, Maxwell, are exactly the fucking problem with this nation currently. Because you want to sit here and you want to fucking grandstand and you want to sit there and you want to fucking bullshit and act like you're fucking doing something when you literally ran your fucking shitty campaign in a district in Florida that you knew could never be won by Republicans at all. And in order for you to be able to win a primary, you were an automatic shoo-in the general election. And you were actually so fucking broke that you admitted that you put your campaign on fucking credit cards. Again, another thing should be disqualified in this country. When you can't even afford to run a campaign because you're such a fucking pussy-ass bitch that doesn't have any financial stability in your life, go fuck yourself, Frost. And take your buddy Hogg with you, asswipe.
Tell him, man. Fuck. Yeah, there's a lot wrong with this country. a lot wrong with this fucking power that should not be.
Actually, I wish I had the ability to show this one because it would be the way I actually want to treat Maxwell Frost. But the post I'm gonna share right now onto the network's page right now of this kid giving the old 1-2 to some other kid is exactly what I would like to personally do to Maxwell Frost if I had the chance, honestly. Because we should be able to fight politicians entirely in this country, dude, is what it is.
You mean like how all the media and politicians and all these assholes that were like, oh, they want to do that to Trump. Even the quote unquote president was saying the same thing to Trump.
Yeah.
How they would like to, choose violence, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
I'm trying not to say it because I don't know what.
Yeah, no. You're fine. You're fine.
It's against TOS anymore.
So yeah, there is actually the mainstream media at this point is called for assassination of Trump at this point, and I'll say it like it is, dude.
Well, not
and
only
I've said
that,
before too, for that matter. I believe honestly, like with the way things are going, anything's on the table right now.
In the past years, they were talking about just beating them up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell, you fucking look at Maxine Waters. She should be out of Congress 3 or 4 times over now for directly calling for violence against Republicans and MAGA supporters and stuff.
Yeah, and how did what's her face not get in any kind of trouble for saying, I mean, she said I think a lot.
Yeah,
about blowing up the White House.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, what they were implying. So
yeah, well, there was that whole entire thing with her and Johnny Depp doing the thing about who was it now? Lincoln's assassin, John Wilkes Booth. And yeah, it was like this whole. You can go back and look. There's like a whole thing from 2020 where it is just all these assholes directly calling for basically Trump's murder is what it is.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, how are any of these fuckers still walking free to this day? Honestly, dude.
Because
it blows my mind, honestly, dude. It really does. It just blows my fucking mind.
It's that inner circle.
Yeah. Well, and again, I know something that was brought up during Matt's chat earlier that I think it was Jolly was saying it about giving his money to Hollywood and stuff like that. So, and I know Matt was, saying about fuck all these corporations and stuff like that. So I'll actually add to that one too, for that matter. Fuck Hollywood entirely, because when you have these same actors that you're talking about making a fucking, dollar or dime, whatever it is, that'd be the case, you might not want to take out of their pocket and stuff. Just remember, these are the same people that will sit there on a daily basis and protect active child molesters in the fucking industry currently.
Yeah.
That won't say a damn thing about people who are raping small children on the sets of these fucking TV shows and these movies, etc. Because they themselves have either a mutually assured destruction where there is dirt on them, where they're getting a BJ from some teenage girl that they thought was over 18 or whatever it was, or something similar to that, and they don't want to be outed themselves. So instead of just going to the forefront and outing themselves and then outing everybody else after the fact, and do what needs to be done to fucking deal with this shit and make this fucking industry a better place for everybody now. No, they're going to sit there and hide in the fucking shadows and not say a damn word and just keep making a fucking shitty TV series or a shitty fucking movie or whatever it is there and expect you to pay them money to see it. Fuck that. Not to mention all these stupid ass writers like the dumb cunts that were behind that Why the Last Man series, which, by the way, would have been a great show otherwise, but what didn't have 50 fucking dipshits writing is what it was. Because it would have actually had consistency in it, the whole thing. Which, by the way, Why the Last Man, it was a series that came out a couple years ago. It's based on a comic of the same name.
Oh, it
was like 10 or 12 episodes or something like that.
Dude with the monkey?
Yeah. Yep. And then, yeah, I think the biggest problem with that show entirely is you really need to hit the ground running with that. And if you're going to do a series like that, go buy the original source material that exists out there for, 20-something years now is what it is. Don't add stuff to it. Don't fucking make it woker than it actually was, etc. Just simply use source material. Because in the source material, there was no such thing as trans men back then. There was no such thing as trans women back then, etc., etc. There were cross-dressers. There were women who dressed like dudes and stuff like that in the source material comics for that.
Yeah.
But instead, what did they do with the TV series? every fucking episode, at least one trans man had to make an appearance. And I'm like, dude, there's not that many of these motherfuckers walking around that you're going to have one at least every episode is what it is there. So to sit there and have like a new one, huh?
Didn't that show get canceled?
Yes, it did. Because again, it went full retard all the way around in every fucking episode. Truthfully, it was boring as fuck, honestly, until it showed a bunch of tits at some point, which is like 4 or 5 episodes in there is what it is. Which, by the way, if you're going to have a series that's mostly female protagonists and antagonists and shit, dude, I don't know. Maybe have fucking boobs in the forefront every fucking episode, dude. That's going to attract your male audience. It's going to attract your numbers, etc., there.
I think the monkey was the best part of the show.
The monkey was good. Like I said, there were some decent-looking chicks and there were some decent-looking racks, but unfortunately they came a little bit too late. The real problem was entirely is the way that they did that series, they basically pissed away 3 episodes that could have been an episode together is what it is. And so you have like episodes 1, 2, 3 that should have all been like the same episode, just basically wasting like 3 hours of the 10 or 12 hour time period, whatever it was there. And then it wasn't until episode 4 that you actually had a somewhat okay storyline come about, which is obviously all these chicks that were like battered women and shit like that becoming like this whole like sort of paramilitary group together is what it was there. If they had that be like episode 2 or 3, and they had like a bunch more to backfill on that one is what it was then, you could have actually had a way better series there. And you just cut out the garbage is what it is. Because there's a whole bunch of garbage in that show of just them fucking around at the White House talking about like, we don't know how to run infrastructure because most of the infrastructure was run by dudes. Oh, but we're fucking independent women now and we know exactly what we're doing. Yet meanwhile, you have half the fucking cities on fire and drowning in their own shit right now. Like, it's just such a joke, dude, entirely. And yeah, not to mention the fact they had like, I think one of the biggest problems was not just the whole thing with all the, too many cooks in the kitchen, too many chiefs, not enough Indians kind of thing there. Yeah. Where you had like dozens of fucking writers that didn't need to be there is what it is. You had too many characters that you're trying to do stuff for. You break that shit down. You should have had like 6 to 8 people entirely. I think they had like double that. It was like 16, 17 fucking characters that they were trying to basically make the leads and stuff in that series. And it's like, that doesn't work, man. Your baseline leads should have been the character of Uric, which was the guy, the last man on Earth, his monkey, the 2 chicks that he was with, which was a Asian female scientist, and then this black Secret Service agent chick who was like part of some secret organization or whatever then. So it should have been like those 4 characters essentially, which obviously was 3 humans and a monkey there. And then maybe his sister storyline and like that intertwining with his mom. And then like one other person maybe. And that should have been the entirety of it then. But no, instead they like doubled that up and they were like, oh, here's all these random ass people that work for the president's cabinet that were females and stuff like that. But they were all like 75th in line kind of people and stuff like that. And it's like, you're all just retarded, man, entirely. Like, you bring nothing to the table. You never have. You were just there for fucking cannon fodder is what it is there at the end of the day. So. But yeah. What was I going to say here then? Anyway, moving on from that though. I thought this one was pretty interesting. It was which one of these mags is a 30 round mag? Technically all of them, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. One of these might be actually a 35 round. I don't think whether 40 round, like number C or whatever. It looks like it's a little bit bigger than the other ones, but I know the first 2 at least are 30 rounders. And I think it actually is all 3. So. And of course, we got Antifa trending for some reason. Let's see what these idiots are trending for right now. Let's see, 45 minutes ago, Andy, no, Antifa in Portland are urging comrades to violently target folk singer David Rovox Rovox is a leftist political musician who has become the target of Antifa after speaking critically about their disinformation and violent extremism. That's hilarious. So the left's eating itself again, it looks like. Makes sense, logically. Yeah, they always usually are, is what it is, man. Yeah, and then we got this person saying only feds, Antifa included, masked their faces. Yeah, exactly. And that was Patriot Fraud Boys, Fed informants, whatever they're going to call people at this point. So there's another one of these jackasses going to their cars and stuff. But yeah, it's just a whole fucking bunch of stupid bullshit there. Now, had the Antifa light a car on fire in Los Angeles on Friday night. God damn. Not going to show this because I'm pretty sure it would break TOS. So, anyway, let's see what else we got here. This person here was saying anti-Antifa, and it's like, well, first of all, that would be saying you're anti-fascist. So, no, like you actually are just anti-fascist, dude. You are actually the people that are not pro-fascism, which is what Antifa's bitch asses are. That being said, pretty sure the guy in the video that they're showing this here, which was several years ago, where the guy stopped Antifa from hitting him in the head with a fucking accidental baton there and then popped him in the face. I believe that was one of the Proud Boys that got a bunch of time for January 6th, and I want to say he actually killed himself here recently. So, yeah, just a very, very sad situation, very sad day all the way around there. But anyway. Let's see here. What do we got now? Yeah, let's see what else is trending here. Let's see, we got UFC 297, got National Guard trending, got Trump rally trending, Alaska. Got a bunch of retard leftists doing hashtag Trump is not well. No, the only one not well is Biden, dude, for real. So, I believe it's tomorrow night is the next Royal Rumble. So that should be pretty cool. Pretty sure it's tomorrow night. Or maybe it's tonight, actually, now I'm thinking about it. I can't remember. I know it's this weekend for sure, though. So, anyway, let's go ahead and see what's going on with the National Guard trend here. So we got illegals arriving at the border are pissed to learn that Texas National Guard is now in charge of the area. We're looking for Border Patrol. Texas sees Shelby Park on January 10th, my birthday, and is blocking off federal government from being able to get in there to help as they are actually arresting illegals and doing their job, unlike the fucking pieces of shit in the federal government is what it is there. That was 3 hours ago, and then this is from a couple days ago, or yesterday actually. It was them putting up razor wire there at the Shelby Park area there, so good. This person here is saying, fact is, Pelosi would have accepted Trump's offer of 10,000 National Guard troops. Ashley Babbitt wouldn't have been gunned down in cold blood by Michael Byrd. Who else thinks Pelosi should be liable for the wrongful death lawsuit filed by by the family of Ashley Babbitt? Hell yes, she should be, dude. Well, that's the entire point, dude. Pelosi, I mean, hell, if it was up to Nancy Pelosi on January 6th, there would have been fucking turret guns and shit like that all over Washington, D.C., because she's a fucking scumbag piece of shit cunt, dude. Who should be in prison for a whole bunch of fucking crime. So, yeah. It's the whole thing there. All right, let's see what this one's about here. We got Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Person's talking about them. It says Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders sending reinforcements to help Texas National Guard as Biden threatens jail for people doing the negligent border agent jobs for them. Yeah, that's even more fucked up. So they're talking about actually jailing, like, directly any National Guardsman that doesn't stand down, basically, for I think it's like 3 years and like a whole bunch of fines and stuff like that. It's like, How the fuck are you going to do that shit when you quite literally have them doing the job that Border Patrol should be doing, which is arresting these motherfucking illegals and throwing them back over the fucking border, or even just doing your job, period, and securing our border with an actual razor wire fence and stuff like that, and then stopping these fuckers from crossing the Rio Grande and stuff like that from Mexico into America. You know? Like, that's what we should have been doing years ago, dude. That's what we were doing under Trump's administration, for God's sakes. Like, nothing should have changed, man. It should have all been the same. If you're going to have a policy in place, like remain in Mexico, people that want to seek asylum, that are legit asylum seekers, will seek asylum in Mexico. They will stay in Mexico, and they will not come into the United States illegally. But instead, under dipshit Biden, you have literal fighting age males being given what appears to be brand new shoes there around their fucking necks, like this asshole right here, and then what appears to be a brand new backpack too. Just being like, hey, how's it going, bro? I'm the guy who's going to confiscate your fucking guns as a dock cop later. It's like, fuck you, y'all, you're a bitch. Fucking bring it on, motherfucker. So, yeah. And of course, you got fucking retard pieces of shit just lying about stuff. So, that's exactly what we have, a block feature on this. But anyway, and then yeah, there's some of the a still shot from Texas Border Patrol doing their job about a week ago there, when they had literal fucking riot shields to protect the shit against the illegal invaders into this country. And it's like, yeah, do your job, dude. Do what needs to be done there. Keep our country safe. Keep our country from fucking not being fucked over like that, dude. Yeah, people were saying it wasn't Nikki Haley who turned down troops January 6th with Nancy Pelosi. So, but anyway. Let's see what else we got here to talk about right now. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about the farmland thing from China, etc. There, trying to buy up our fucking farmland. They shouldn't be able to do it, obviously, which is this new thing that came out here from Daily Mail that talked about foreign developers, including Chinese, Russian, Iranian, and Venezuelan, now own at least 40 million acres of U.S. land near military bases from coast to coast. That is a fucking scary thought, by the way. This is government admits it does not know full extent of land grabs. Jesus fucking Christ. A watchdog group claims the U.S. government is not keeping tabs on foreign landowners. They shouldn't be fucking foreign landowners. Let's point that one out to begin with. So the report revealed there are at least 40 million acres owned by foreign countries, including China, Russia, Iran, and other American adversaries. It said Chinese billionaire Chen something or other's $85 million purchase of Oregon is missing from government's records. Of course it is, dude. Yeah, it says at least 40 million acres of U.S. farmland, pastures and forests are owned by foreign investors, which officials warn may have consequences for national security. You mean do have consequences for national security, because you're literally fucking stopping us from having national security in this country by allowing fucking foreign nationals to own our goddamn land, dude, is what it is. Especially land for farming, etc., that would actually feed our asses. Yes, this new watchdog report found that foreign ownership of U.S. land, including buyers from adversarial nations like China, Iran, and Russia, has increased by 40% since 2016, with some plots near sensitive military facilities as well as espionage concerns. There are growing alarm about the integrity of America's food supply chains. Yeah, of course there are, dude, and it makes sense why you had all these fucking factory farms and shit like that burned to the ground recently, and all these, different food processing plants in the last 2 or 3 years now is what it is there. So, but anyway, says estimates could be that 40 million could be the tip of the iceberg because Government Accountability Office, or GAO, which did the report, told Daily Mail that U.S. officials are not reliably tracking data on landowners. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Says a new congressional analysis has caused fury among Democrats and Republicans who demanded the Biden administration clamp down on purchases from, quote, foreign adversaries to shore up America's defenses. Or, you know what? Like I said, okay, this is the problem right there. So you got Democrats and Republicans, and I'm guessing it's Congress / Senate there. Do your fucking job then, assholes. Introduce a piece of legislation that says no foreign nationals, no foreign countries can own American land, period. How fucking hard is that? That is a fucking thing. It's called the America First Act, motherfuckers. It's called the Americans Only Act, is what it should be actually called at this point. And it's, if you are a person who has ties to a foreign nation or you are a foreign national, guess what, bitch? You can't own land in this country. Go fuck off back to your nation of origin, asshole. And it's as simple as that, really. Literally fucking that easy, dude. That's a way to deal with this shit. And a bunch of the ones here in Ohio, all the little yellow dots are all fucking China, and then the little purple dot is Venezuela here, which I think I have I want to say I grabbed up a thing earlier that shows the actual thingy for this too, if I'm not mistaken. So let me see if I can grab it here real quick. I thought I'd grab the map anyway. It's not the map. It's not the map. It's not the map. It's not the... There it is. Okay. So... All right, let me go ahead and drop this out real fast. And then screen share this map right here. So there's all the ones that are owned by Ohio. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 different places owned by China. And then you got one owned by Venezuela. And this one up here is like Cleveland area, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a bunch in Indiana owned by China. I'm trying to remember which states these are right here. It's just like a lot of blue area, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But it's all like legit like China for the majority of it. And then it's a single Iran and like a little bit of like Venezuela there. You got a bunch down in Florida that's all Venezuela owned. And then the other half is owned by China there. And then there's a bunch of Russia stuff right in the middle there at the very tip of the Florida coastline is what it is there. Hell, even Texas has a bunch of Russia's green. Sorry, I meant Iran. Okay, so you got Venezuela in purple, you got China in yellow, and you got Iran down there in Florida at the very bottom. And then, of course, in Texas, you got big chunk right here in the one part of Texas there, owned by Iran. And another little piece right here owned by Iran. And then a bunch of other chunks of Texas owned by Iran, and then a little bit of Venezuela there too. And then there's a little teeny piece right here, a little green sliver that would be Russia. So, and then going over to California, you got little slits of Russia there, whole big ass bunch of China underneath is what it is, and then a bunch of Iran over top of the one part of it. And at the very edge of California's coastline, you got a little bit of Venezuela at the top there. And then I think that's either Montana or North Dakota, maybe, or maybe South Dakota actually. The top here, that's a big purple chunk for Venezuela. Same thing over here in one of the blue states there, like Rhode Island or New Hampshire, wherever it is there. It's all a big purple chunk for Venezuela. And, of course, the state of Maine there is a big old chunk of China. So it looks like Washington State at the top here. You've got a bunch of China in it, too, and then a little bit of Iran. So, crazy shit, man. Yeah, it looks like actually the only places that really have Russia in it would be a little bit of Texas right there, and then there's a chunk right here in, I want to say this is New York, maybe. I think that's New York right there. I'm trying to remember which one's directly. I want to say this is Pennsylvania, right directly next to us here, and I feel like it's New York that's like right underneath us, or maybe I'm wrong about that one. I need to go look at my maps again. Is what it is here. So let me go do that real quick for a sec, and then I'll talk about that right now. The state map. Okay, it would be. Let's see here. Oh, sorry. It would be. I'm retarded. It would be West Virginia. Was that chunk there? Because yeah, I think it goes Pennsylvania, then Pennsylvania goes up to New York. Is what it is there. So yeah, it would be West Virginia. Then I was talking about. So you'd have West Virginia would be the one that has a big chunk of China in it, and then a little bit of Russia. It looks like in it too as well. So that's even scarier actually on that one, dude. So the little pieces of stuff you have in it, you're like China and Russia owned basically, and then. Jumping back over to that map again, you got. I'm trying to think which state is which. Here's what it is. I want to say one of these is Colorado, and the other one would be New Mexico or something, maybe. And yeah, it's just all fucking Chinese owned shit, dude. And then I want to say this is Hawaii right here. It's just a big old chunk of fucking China. Or no, that would be Alaska, actually. It's a big chunk of China. And then that little teeny orange there, that might be Hawaii, would be all Russia then. It's like, Jesus, dude. Again, none of these fucking countries should own farmland in America, dude, period. Yeah, there we go. So stripers indicate investors from multiple nations. So yeah, you got Russia, Iran, and China there. Or we got Russia, Iran, and then Venezuela, and it's all over the China one there. And then you got the same thing here in Texas. You got a little bit of Venezuela over China stuff. So, fucking nuts, dude. Just absolutely insane. Ironically enough, this does not show anything what appears to be Michigan up here. So, and that could be the fact that you just don't have it updated properly for Michigan. I'm sure Michigan's a shit ton owned by China at this point because you got fucking piece of shit Whitmer over there who's been doing all kinds of backdoor shady ass deals with, like, in the open basically in their General Assembly there, talking about like, oh yeah, we're gonna have all these Chinese investors and stuff do a bunch of fucking investment into Michigan now, and it's like, you are such a fucking traitor to this country, bitch. It's not even funny. So it's absolutely disgusting entirely. I'm gonna go see if real quick if anything happened with Corey. That's why maybe he dropped out there. Okay, he's not on at all, so I don't know what the hell happened there. Maybe he lost power or something. I know I sent like 10 links to people though, and nobody else has showed up, which I thought was kind of insulting a little bit there. But again, maybe they're not checking their damn phones or their damn, Discords and stuff like that. It would be. So it's whatever, man. It's whatever. I'm almost done here anyway. So, but yeah, it's a whole thing. Oh, speaking of the devil, we got Leo coming up in.
Almost missed it.
Yeah, Corey was here for a little bit, and then I don't know what happened to him, if he lost power or dropped out or what it was. Maybe his phone died on him or something. Yeah, I was talking about all the foreign national countries owning America's land here is what it is. Got Iran, got Venezuela of all places, a bunch of China everywhere, and then a little bit of Cuba, a little bit of Russia here and there. Actually, that will be
I figured that China will own a lot
in Texas. Yeah, China's everywhere, man. They're in fucking everything, pretty much. They're even here in Ohio, and then the other one's Venezuela right there in the middle. So,
how the hell does Cuba own anything?
I don't know.
And Iran, Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And then we have the actual story that this came from, which was talking about the that map I was just showing there. And it was about Congress wanting to clamp down the stuff and bitching about Biden needs to be the one doing it. It's like, dude, you could actually pass a law that just says no foreign nationals can own this fucking land, period. And no foreign country should ever be able to own this land at all. Well, they call it the America Only Act or something. So,
exactly.
And yeah, it's at least 40 million acres of U.S. land that they know about. And it's all by like military bases and stuff like that in this country. Yeah, this is Democratic Senator John Tester said, while we learn about learned more about the specifics around the unfolding situation and highlights need for Congress to do more than to protect America's agricultural security and prevent foreign adversaries from controlling our food supply, while also gaining access to land near sensitive military sites. Republican Representative Dan Newhouse also shared his outrage about the government, people that keep the shit going there is what it is. Damn. I didn't realize that Rick Harrison had another son who apparently OD'd here at the age of 39. Crazy.
If that's true, who knows with these?
Yeah, well, that's all like the side stories from the
Right.
now
Yeah.
is what it is, so
That's why.
should be verified then.
Right.
Yeah, where was that now? Yeah, it said, yeah, this Dan Newhouse guy said the report confirms one of our worst fears. Not only is the U.S. Department of Agriculture unable to answer the question of who owns what land and where, but there is no plan for the department to internally reserve this dangerous flaw that affects our supply chain and economy. Said food security is national security, and we cannot allow foreign adversaries to influence our food supply while we stick our heads in the sand. Yeah, and there's all the shit that's owned by every one of these fuckers. Specifically, how is China building up farmland across the U.S., and there's all the acreage they own here in different states. 159,000, almost 160,000 acres in Texas, 334 acres in Ohio.
In Texas, of all places.
Yeah. Yeah, it's by the thousand, so it'd be 334,000 acres. Yeah, 160,000. Wait. Yeah. Am I saying that right now?
Where at? Which one are you looking at?
I'm looking at the side here because it says acreage by, thousands. So yeah, it'd be 334,000 in Ohio, and then it'd be, the red is 50K, so it'd be 159,640 in Texas. Oh, it was Utah was the other one that I was looking at earlier that was like a big China thing. Yeah, 7,000 in California, 32,000 in Utah, 198,000 in Oregon. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Disgusting. Yeah, it said AGO's findings revealed USDA collects the required data on paper forms. Noted the agency does not share timely data on foreign investments in agricultural land collected under the agency's or Agricultural's Foreign Investment Disclosure Act of 1978 as amended. Well, first of all, you shouldn't have that kind of disclosure act because you should simply have a thing that says you cannot own land in this country, period. In the story, go fuck yourself. So
we can't own that in your country. You definitely can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, here you go. 2023 state proposals for redistricting foreign ownership of agricultural land. Then we got laws being passed in Pennsylvania and Kentucky. We got proposals in a bunch of other states too, for that matter. And then we have both things happening in a bunch of other states too. And of course, Ohio's not one of them right now, which is because these lazy fuckers don't want to do a damn thing to actually protect our damn land here is what it is. I know there's been talk by somebody about, I think it's just not been introduced as what it is right now, though. So, yeah, just fucking disgusting is what it is, though. And then we got local realtors told Daily Mail in September that David Frankens, pictured on the left there, from East Texas, sold 131,000 acres of land to Sun Jawastin, the Asian guy on the right. So literally an Asian foreign national guy. Fucking ridiculous. So that dude's land grab means he owns 7% of all land in Val Verde County. The site of the proposed wind farm sits to the northeast of the country, but is already earns royalties from wind turbine operated on the land by French firm at Rock Springs. Fucking ridiculous, dude. Seriously, everybody should be pissed off right now about this whole thing.
But they're not.
I think it's because most people don't even realize what's going on right now, and that's the problem.
Yeah, that's part of. I would say it's part of the problem. Man.
Yeah, it's media failing at doing its job, which is actually reporting the real news is what it is. And you got to have people like myself who actually are the real media at this point now, not the fucking mainstream media. So, but yeah, as it is right now, I'm gonna have to look into probably selling this place at some point. I really don't want to do that, obviously, but hoping to cut a deal with somebody here so I can just rent it out if that be the case. Then, if they were to buy it, just let me live on the property as like a caretaker, and I'll just pay rent or something here. So, anyway, so how's things going in Chicago then, Leo?
Everything's frozen over. Shit, that's all I know.
That's good. Yeah, it's cold as fuck right now here.
Yeah. I try to go out just to make runs, and that's about it. Like, you know what? Like, I don't even listen to the news here, or I don't even follow what's going on in Illinois because I'm at the point where I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, because like,
yeah, they were expecting 8 inches this weekend.
Right.
That's up yesterday. I don't know how much it actually fell right now.
Right. But as far as the news here in Illinois, like, I don't pay attention to none of it anymore. You know, because like everybody who votes have their heads stuck up their asses and they keep voting for shit. And we slowly losing all our rights here. So
Yep. There's always that.
And they keep voting for it.
So. And then speaking of people not doing their jobs in the state of Ohio, instead of actually introducing legislation that would actually prevent foreign nationals from taking over our farmland here, what are they actually pushing forward instead? Designate multiple memorial highways. Designate Joe Burrow Highway. Designate Tusky Valley Memorial Highway, which actually makes sense. They had the kids die here going down to dipshit DeWine's thing here recently, and that's why they're doing that one. Let's see. Regards prescription drug readers for visually impaired patients. Designate Lewis P. Shutter Memorial Interchange. Designate William Bill Burritt Memorial Highway. Designate OSHP Officer William J. Keller Memorial Highway. Designate Specialist 5 Frederick Wayne Taylor Memorial Highway. Designate Clarence Sonny Smith Jr. Highway, etc., etc. That's all a bunch of highway shit.
Jesus, right.
Yeah. And then, of course, we get on further here, and we got the Enact Human Trafficking Prevention Act, which, of course, this is almost all Republicans, and then a bunch of little piece of shit Dems don't really give a fuck, but just want to have their names on is what it is then.
Just
who act like they want to care.
2 Democrats, 3?
There's 4.
Okay.
There's 4.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 35 Republicans, 4 Democrats, which are Sean Brennan, who's a first-termer. You got Sean Brennan's one of them.
3.
See, Letitia Humphreys, who is in her she's actually in her first full term because she was appointed last go around. And then we got, by the way, she only won that seat because it's so gerrymandered blue in her district. It's a default seat, basically Democrat. Then we got Elgin Rogers, who's a first-term guy, and who's the 4th one here?
Richard.
Oh yeah, Richard Dialagua, who I'm pretty sure is a pedophile because he's the primary sponsor of legislation that would allow luring of kids into cars by their non-guardians.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was him and 7 other Democrats pushed forward this legislation about a year ago now, where it would allow for what's currently on our books right now to basically be thrown out the window when it comes to child enticement and stuff like that. And people can basically just lure a kid into a car and they'd be like, oh, yeah, it's fine. Just go to the car. Like, damn, dude.
Wow.
And they still haven't kicked out of office after that, though. So, yeah, just a bunch of sickos entirely. But then, of course, we also got Republicans introducing stuff like this regarding age verification for online pornographic material, because that's worked so well in the states it's already passed in. Not. You've actually had porn sites now be like, we're blocking off shit IP addresses from these states now. So, And yeah, that was actually in our state senate. It was Stephanie Coonsey, who's a known dipshit rhino, and then William DeMora, who is a scumbag sack of shit first termer. And then, of course, again, going back to things that don't matter, we got designate Ukraine Independence Day.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
None of our business.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like this one from Democrats, enact the Kid Influencer Protection Act, which would literally do pretty much what Hollywood did decades ago, where you'd have money set aside for child actors and stuff like that and put it into like a trust. Which pretty sure there's already federal legislation that does the same exact thing, honestly. But that's the problem with, again, people in fucking office at state levels. They will sit there and do the exact same thing at the state level. It's already federally done. So it's just dumb. But yeah, and there's a lot of other stupid crap here too. That doesn't really matter. And then, wait a minute. I didn't see this one until recently. Regard lost and stolen firearms. Oh, of course, it's Democrats trying to increase the penalty for failure to report lost and stolen firearms. Fuck these people, man. I swear to God. Like, what that should be is something I talked about to my state rep like 2 years ago when they stole my gun out of my house that time, which is, yeah, take this shit from a 3rd-degree felony to a 1st-degree felony. For the people that are doing theft and stuff like that. So, yeah, just a bunch of scumbag bullshit is what it is here. And of course, a lot of people that are on this, specifically the bishop's the primary sponsor of this, is or actually it's 2 women that are. They used to be state reps that literally got termed out and then jumped to the state senate after the fact, even though we have term limits in the state. So, and that's the problem right there, is all these people that keep doing that bullshit every so often. Every 4 to 8 years is what it is there. So, anyways. Let's see what else we got going on here. Trying to see if there's a... So there's apparently this dude from... It's considered a neighbor from hell on this X page here, where he just picks up a bunch of pizza boxes that are all empty, tosses them on this dude's front porch, and then bitches him out about, like, you don't need to stack your pizza boxes, bro. Oh, he's talking about the guy putting in a recycle bin. By the way, this is why you don't have HOAs in your area, because it's douchebags like this fucking Doug that run the shit and think they have any power at all. And it's like, just shut the fuck up, Doug. I get what he's saying, though, about not being able to recycle pizza boxes and stuff, because apparently I guess there is a thing, like they talked about it before, where you can't actually do the recycling of those because it's like the grease or something that gets to the bottom of the box or something. Because of that, they can't be recycled now or something, which is so stupid. But again, it's whatever, dude. Right. So it's like, at least the guy's trying to do something there, buddy. And you have the audacity to sit there and
tell them, right,
waste your time bringing back like 40 fucking boxes.
Right. Because now you're just being a dick. Like, you could have told them, like, hey, the pizza boxes can't be recycled, so you'll be better off just throwing them in the trash instead of picking them up and throwing them back on his porch.
Yeah, or even just being like, dude, you know those like 30 pizza boxes you threw in the garbage? You threw in the recycling. Yeah, you're going to throw those in the trash instead because they can't be recycled because of the grease on them. And if you didn't want to do it, then be like, okay, here you go. I'm going to toss them in the garbage for you then, if that be the case then. So.
Right. That's all you had to do instead of getting your teeth knocked in. Like, I don't know. That guy must have never had a fight in his life, or he's
I guarantee he didn't.
Right.
Oh, he's just trying to be an asshole is what it is. I've seen a couple of videos there from that guy, and I think it's the same person as what it is there. Then, of course, you got this one. Huge, quote, race-fueled brawl between black and Somali students breaks out at Minnesota high school with parents who got involved arrested by cops. So, I'm going to have to look this one up, actually, because it sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, I heard something about that before.
Minnesota.
Right. Too, like the black Americans get into it with the Somalis.
Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. It's from 22 hours ago. Got huge race-fueled brawl breaks out between parties. Said race-fueled brawl erupted between black and Somali students in Minnesota high school. It is claimed, leading to the arrest of at least 2 adults accused of joining in. Abrirha and Alisa Smith, 22, and Latoys Renell Mayland, 41, were arrested but later released without being charged after fights broke at St. Louis Park High School in Minnesota on Thursday. So the initial altercation erupted between a group of black and Somali students. It was claimed by Crime Watch Minneapolis. So the situation escalated when parents, after they became aware of the incident, allegedly joined the fight alongside their children. Jesus. So Latoy's daughter, I'm not sure how to pronounce this name, Sanaiah,
Sanaya.
Okay, that sounds about right. Yeah. Claims she was punched to the floor and kicked by dozens of students earlier on Thursday because of a, quote, personal beef. She denied claims that the brawl was racially motivated, although the school is continuing to investigate it as such. It said, that's the girl that got her ass beat by the other kids is what it was. She said she had previous argument with a Somali student months prior. A counselor at the school intervened at the time, and girl said she thought the issue was solved, said she was alarmed when other students warned her that she was going to get jumped. She told a local affiliate about the lead up to Thursday's attack, quote, and I got punched again from the other side. Then one student grabbed me by the neck and she tossed me and we were on the floor, and it was just kicks, punches in my head. It felt like it was going on forever. Just so scared. So videos circulate on social media platforms show her being thrown to the ground and kicked when she tried to fight back. She was eventually rescued by a teacher, pulling her away from the crowd, closing a door into the hallway. She sustained a swollen and bruised eye. As the class resumed after the intense fight, but as the final bell rang, the situation escalated when one of the parents, accompanied by her older daughter, arrived at the scene. So 41-year-old mother said, all I was thinking is getting to my daughter. She needs me. She needs somebody. In the video that captures the second fight, a boy wearing a green puffer jacket can be seen kicked to the ground, circled by a few individuals who kicked him forcibly and strolled away. It's fucking insane. Those are 2 adults there that were involved in the shit then. So from what it sounds like it was the girl's 41-year-old mother, and then it would have been her 22-year-old sister that were the adults involved in this one. Mm-hmm. So that sounds right. So, yeah, crazy shit, man.
And it's not a race thing, it's a nationality thing.
Yeah, of course. It's Americans versus not Americans is what it would be then. So, but yeah, it's just fucking crazy, man. I don't know anymore, though. We got a lot of problems in this country, but, you know, the one thing I will say is, going to this post, I dare you to name a single thing more important than diversity.
Quality.
Yeah. And of course, you got the dude over there. That's the American fighting DIE or DEI. So it's funny. I like this one. This guy said, denying kids their right to education for illegals. Yeah, take over their schools, what it was. So, yeah. Somebody else said competence. So, yeah, sounds about right.
But quality in diversity, not just diversity, just for diversity's sake.
getting a burger that looks like the advert rather than one that looks like it's been sat on. I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, that is important.
Yeah. The thing about that is though, is like when they actually show like the advertisement one, that's the one that's all like lathered up with like random like lacquer and shit like that you would never want to eat because it's not actual food anymore.
Right. But you know what? A couple of times, I don't know, was it Burger King, McDonald's?
Mm-hmm.
I actually got the burger that looked damn near like the TV before. I was like, wow. Like, who's ever back there needs a raise.
Yeah. Something more important than diversity, taking a massive dump. Somebody said. Yeah. I would say that's
right a good bowel movement is healthy and is important.
Damn. Somebody said self-confidence here is what it was. Chick has like the fattest ass ever. Unless she got some nice big titties though. All right, that's enough of that.
Right.
Go ahead and just share that for later. Yeah, I'm gonna send that shit to Honda later. See what he says about it.
Make sure to wipe your keyboard down afterwards.
Let's see. I think that's about it for that one. Bunch of people just saying accepting people for who they are is what it is then or whatever. So let's see. Anything else we're talking about here? Yeah.
It's been kind of slow, really, with the news.
Yeah, there's not much going on except obviously the feds that call themselves Patriot Front were in New York City at the subway on the subway today doing Fed boy shit and then calling it a march. So
yeah, strange how they just pop up in New York.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've jumped out in Ohio too, for that matter, and then other places too for over the time, which is ironic because they started here, and then of course they became that Blood Tribe group because all they did was change their white mask to a red mask. So, and then their blue onesie things to black onesie things. So. Yeah, here we go. This is Justin, Patriot Front leader Thomas Ryan Resaroto says he is protesting in New York City today against, quote, brown and black slums and the Jewish tunnels. Yeah, sure you are, buddy. Sure you are, Fed boy. That guy even looks, this dude actually looks like at least one of the Fed boys I've actually met in person before. So... his little Colonel Sanders ass looking beard and shit. Yeah, and you would think, honestly, if the mainstream media really gave a shit about so-called white supremacy, yeah, they wouldn't unmask every single one of these guys then. But they're like, nope, we're good. So, yeah, just more proof it's all Fed informants and everything else like that then. So.
Yep.
Actually, this one's pretty cool. My brother was telling me about this the other day. I guess there's a sushi place that is coming to Columbus here recently that does the by the plate thing. And then we had this one here that was how Japanese sushi restaurants clean the dishes. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it makes sense. Just a giant conveyor belt back the other way is what it is. And just have it full of water, and then all you can do is put a little bit of soap and stuff in there with it.
Right, I was waiting for when the soap going to be added.
Yeah, probably just cut off right before they had some dude go up in there and do it or whatever then. So, would be my guess there.
They probably throw that shit right back on the rack.
Well, I mean, it depends because it might be, and there could be like just a little bit of soap and stuff right in that water that's all being dropped into as well. So by the time it actually gets to the bottom there, it might be almost clean again then. What you do is like wipe it off with something and then just throw it back on the thing to be reused. Then is what it is. So who knows? I don't know. I know there has been I know that there is some decent stuff there is what it is though, and there are people who have talked about how it's like a really good deal and how you get like a lot of food for what you're actually paying for there. Because I think even the one in that was taken down to Columbus here recently, my brother was telling me it was like I think $3 or something a plate, give or take. And then for like the more expensive ones that have like more meat or whatever on it, it's like $4 or $4.50 a plate. So which isn't bad. But anyway. Nah. There's a video of a woman swimming with a dolphin where the dolphin's trying to get its freak on. So I was not going to show that because, probably breaks TOS somehow, I'm sure. So, but anyway, I don't think there's much more I wanted to talk about tonight. I think I pretty much covered all the stories I wanted to discuss. Here's what it was. Oh, actually, there's somebody talking about the how companies have gone fully woke and kind of bullshit. Here's what it is, which is they got rid of Uncle Ben's, they got rid of Aunt Jemima, they got rid of the Lando Lakes Indian lady, but yet they keep Quaker Oats, Little Debbie, and Sunmaid chick. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Which is really messed up because, especially with Aunt Jemima, because I know that the woman that's based on was actually like a slave who became like a success story after slavery ended.
Yeah, they're doing the exact opposite of what it's supposed to be intended to be. Yeah,
exactly.
Clown world. We're living in a clown world.
Yep, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, and then I found out last night there's apparently like it seems like almost every single site out there for dating is all paid.
Oh yeah,
which is fucking ridiculous. It's like can't even find love for free anymore, man.
Yeah,
it's almost like they want you to just talk to your friends and see if your friends have single friends.
I think that's the best way to do it because
so my parents met each other decades ago.
Like these dating apps for men is horrible.
Yeah,
for women it's like a candy store.
This is actually pretty interesting here, and this goes to show the whole thing about how we have so many additives in our food and stuff like that. So you got US versus UK Fanta, where the UK version looks like a thing of orange juice, and the US version just looks like a really weird dyed piece of junk. Basically, it doesn't have anything it needs in it. Really, is what it is. Yeah, that is interesting too.
Why the hell does the UK bottle look weird? As weird.
Yeah, it's almost like an odd twisted at the bottom. There is what it looks like it's an old 20 ounce or something. Then I think it might be too that the way it's twisted, it's supposed to be able to fit into cup holders better over there or something. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
That would make sense because that's why it would be having that like weird twist at the bottom where it's almost like the legs are like one final twist. I guess
the cup holders are smaller.
Yeah, or something. It looks about the same actually, give or take, the size wise. But yeah, it's just the coloration is way different, obviously, because they don't have all the 150,000 additives we have in our stuff. Is what it is. Because it's all banned shit over there. So, which is what we need to be doing here. Is what it is.
I think that's what they said. It's the same thing about like the Mexican Coke.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes different because it has like real sugar and stuff in it.
I was actually watching an interesting one last night where it was people talking about it was showing a whole bunch of folks from the 1940s or 50s. I forget which decade it was, but it was one of those two. And they were discussing about how, hey, people were so much slimmer back here. Like, what's the deal and stuff. And then when they started looking into it, what it turned out to be was that you had all the times back then, the things that you were drinking, whether it be some kind of soda or whatever the case be, was either made with honey or it was made with cane sugar. Mm-hmm. Instead of all the bullshit that we're making with now with the high fructose corn syrup and everything else like that is what it is. And that is the killer, honestly, of a lot of people is what it is. It's just weight gain crap is what it is for the high fructose corn syrup and everything else like that. So, but yeah, it's not good, man. Not good at all. So, but I think we're definitely gonna see a change happen here at some point. It's just when's it gonna actually take effect? Then is all. Only time will tell at this point, I believe. So. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. So apparently, I guess in the original Spider-Man, when Tobey Maguire caught the tray in the lunchroom, there was actually no special effects to that. It was just filmed over 16 hours and took 156 takes to get it done. So it's a pretty interesting little piece of knowledge there. And then, of course, you had dipshit Biden on his little faulty-ass campaign trail here, stopping at a place called Cookout. Having all kinds of Secret Service around his ass while he ordered like a bunch of food. There's what it was. So, bunch of shit. I'm surprised he would stop there, too, because the fact that it is a pretty, hardcore criminal ghetto. So...
just again,
I guess, yeah, and I'm assuming it's probably because he also had 10 extra Secret Service people with him is what it was then.
Exactly.
So he's like, yeah, I'm fine. They're just going to shut down the road here is what it'll be or whatever then. So.
Right.
But anyway. Yeah. Yeah, it's like mostly the same stories just popping back through again then with Patriot Front guys and everything else. Actually, this was interesting. This is something people should know about technology-wise because it's a pretty interesting piece of technology and wasn't used at all as a direct energy weapon in Hawaii a few months ago. It's just lasers being able to clean the rust off of things. And make it like it's brand new again.
How much?
I don't know, but that one's pretty cool, though. Almost looks like fire hitting it. But yeah, like I said, this had nothing at all to do with, what happened in Hawaii.
Nah.
With the Maui fires or anything like that.
Nah.
That is pretty slick, though. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
Like, that's a real quick way to get rust off of stuff, dude. It is a pretty cool technology, I'll say that. Yeah, I assume it costs quite a bit for those little guns, even for that matter. So, especially if you're going to try to clean a bunch of stuff off like that. That seemed like quite a bit at the end there they were going to do on that shelf thing. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much it, I think, is what it'll be. So, I think I'll leave it off on that one for today, and then, we'll come back, be back tomorrow for Honda's chat. There's a little weekly Gay Frogs, which I'm not sure if we're doing that on Rumble or if he'll have it on YouTube now. So maybe he'll do both for all we know.
Did he do one last Sunday?
He did, and then he got a channel strike on a different one from a couple years back now is what it is. So,
oh, Jesus.
which had to do with Ray Ray in it. And I don't know if that was
Oh,
something
yeah.
Ray Ray said or if it was something somebody else said during that whole thing or something that was shown and now is considered TOS violation that wasn't 2.5 years ago.
Oh yeah, that's
So-
right. He did. Yeah, he did mention that earlier.
I mean, knowing Roland, though, it probably was something Roland's ass said, honestly.
Right.
So, just given what we see happening in this country anymore, it seems like that's probably the likely scenarios it would be then.
The good old days.
So, yeah.
The rolling days.
Yep, the good old days when I first started getting my little mic over here and we could actually finally hear me for once, and I wasn't, like way lower than everybody else was because of the headset mic I had on at the time.
Yeah, I had a headset mic too, and Honda's complaining how
yeah,
right, like
yeah,
he could hear all my drinking.
yeah. Well, my thing was that you could barely hear me, and then everybody's able to talk over me, is what it was then, because I couldn't be heard really back in those days. So, but I fixed that though. I got this one now, and hopefully it'll be good to go. I probably need to get another wire for it though, because the wire on the end of it's kind of exposing itself now, which is not good.
Yeah.
But anyway, other than that though, yeah, I think that's where we're at for today though. So I gotta go do some stuff, and then I'm probably gonna go to sleep for a while and wake up and wish it was about a year ago, honestly. So before everything went to shit is what it is. But anyway, it's been a good one though. As I said earlier in the beginning of the chat, I think I'm gonna try to get a GoFundMe going pretty soon here. I'm gonna go to local credit union this coming week and open up an account and basically use that to start a GoFundMe for trying to save the house right now from actually being sold out from under me is what it is. But apparently, I guess Mom did leave it in her will to state it that the house does need to be sold, which is not good because I'm not sure exactly how long ago she said that, but I know for a fact on my birthday this year, week before her death, she specifically told me that she did not want the house to be sold, and that if in fact it did have to be sold, that she would like to do a thing where we could basically rent it back from whoever was going to buy it then. So, yeah, it's a whole thing. So hopefully I can do nothing else. I can do something like that maybe. But yeah, it's going to be a hell of a couple months coming up, I think. And I have no idea what it's going to look like. And I don't like to look at it, honestly, because the future scares the shit out of me right now is what it is. So, and I think it's definitely triggering my autism quite a bit now throughout the entire last 24 hours or so. So anyway. But yeah, that being said, it's been a shitty week for me. And I think next week is going to be even worse, honestly, because we got the funeral coming up and everything else like that. So
yeah,
it's going to be a whole thing. So anyway, obviously I won't be doing Thursday or Friday's chats next week. I might do another Stand Your Ground Saturday next weekend, though. I'm not sure yet. Depends on how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling like shit, I might just do something, or if nothing else, I might just call up somebody within the group and, have a good chat with that person or those people or whatever it is there. So, but anyway, because these last 72 hours or so have been very, very rough for me. And people are lucky I'm still here to do this, honestly. I'm going to say it like that and leave it at that. So, anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe. And make sure you're always carrying, because you never know if today is going to be the day you might have to use it. Later.
Later.